Hello and welcome to Kelly TV. I have a guest for you today. Now I would have said a special guest, but I don't think this person is very special anymore. But anyway, with me today is Mr. Ezra Fitz. Ezra, we have a lot of talking to do. Well, actually, we don't, but I do, because there's a lot of things that I want to talk to you about. First of all, I was with you from day one. I loved you from the very first episode of PLL. Yes, you and Arya and you, I shipped you. You were my favorite ship. And this is how you repay me? What is wrong with you, Ezra? What is wrong with you? Do you know what you did to my heart in this finale? Do you know what you did to me? Do you know what you did to Arya, who you say that you love? Okay, when people said that you were the creepy teacher who was preying on a student, I said, this show isn't realistic, and I'm sure he wouldn't do that in real life, and this isn't... this is okay. I can overlook that because he really loves her and it's all going to be okay once she graduates, okay? And then when people said you were A, I was like, no, he can't be A. Like, he's totally writing a book, right? I mean, it's not you. And it wasn't you. And then lately when everyone said, Jason's really hotter. No, Noel is hotter too. And I said, no, but Ezra, he's so hot. I mean, Ezra, I love him. He's my favorite guy on PLL. Well, you know what? I lied about that because Jason is hotter. And you know what else? I cannot believe what you did to Arya. She's your fiance, and then you go off hugging some other girl you haven't seen in forever and kissing her on national TV? I have 2 words for you, Ezra Fitz. Boy, bye. Yes, I've had to break up with Ezra because it's him, it's not me. And you are in the same place as Marlene. Actually, I like Marlene better now, and that's saying a lot. Okay, so now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk a bit about this finale. Okay, honestly, I've watched this show since the beginning, since day one. Like, I was tuning in live to the very first episode, and this episode, this 7A finale, is the best finale that I have ever seen. Not just the finale, the best episode that they've ever done. Thumbs up if you agree. Like, I had no idea I was going to love it so much, but overall 7A was great, and this finale was just so good, and now I'm kind of like, can 7B and the series finale live up to this? But I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm just going to be like, you know what? I love this finale. This was the best episode ever, and let's get into that right now. So, we see a different side of Hannah. I mean, she was going way out there. We knew she had Noel in this room and she's going to torture him, but when she sliced open his leg with the knife, I was like, oh girl, you are going too far. I mean, later we find out he's completely psychotic, and I didn't know he was that crazy, did you? But anyway, I mean, I felt like it was a little bit too much, but I guess she was trying to collect his blood for this DNA sample, but it was just insane. So she wanted to test his blood against someone else's. We weren't sure who it was at first. We find out later it was Mary because, like all of us, she's trying to figure out if he was Mary's other child. Here's what she does next, and I don't know, now this could be a complete mistake on her part, but she calls in Mona for help, and Mona is kind of helping her, but like later on he is able to escape, and I mean, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like Mona was the one who released him, and I still can't trust Mona. Now, I know there's a lot of rumors about Mona possibly being AD, and I don't really love that since they've already gone there and tried to make us think she was A, or actually she was A. But I guess if she has to be AD, at least it's somebody that we've known from the beginning, and it wouldn't be that bad. It's much better than like Eddie Lamb being AD. Thumbs up if you agree. But I'm not really ready to say who I think AD is yet. So many things happened in this episode, but one of my favorite things was the Caleb reunion, which I found to be so very sweet, and now I'm convinced that in 7B, they're the ones who are going to get married. Now, I know there's going to be multiple weddings, but I definitely think they will get married, and with Pastor Ted coming back, which made 0 sense to me, I think he's going to be the minister for the wedding, and you never know, he might get back together with Ashley, and they might even get married. I mean, I think we're going to, like we said, we're going to have a lot of weddings, so there's going to be a lot of good things for the final episodes. We find out that Allie is pregnant, and that had been a rumor circulating online for a while, and I feel terrible for her because she's pregnant with a monster's baby. Some people have asked me if I think she's pregnant with Emily's eggs. I will be very mad if this happens because that storyline's ridiculous to me and it's just so far-fetched, even though they've done a lot of crazy stuff on this show. So I'm hoping it's just Archer's actual baby, even though I can't stand him. Alright, so when we reach this point of the show, this part with Arya and Ezra, I I could not collect my thoughts. If you haven't seen my live reaction, I watched the show live with you guys this week, and I really could not get myself together after this scene because it totally caught me off guard. Now, I was convinced beyond a shadow of a doubt that Nicole was dead because they played around with the storyline so much, and I felt like last week's episode really wrapped up the fact that she was really dead and Ezra was coming home. So I started to get nervous when Ezra called and said, you know, Arya should be waiting on him when he got home from his flight. And when we were live chatting, people were like, oh my God, is his plane gonna crash? And I got nervous because, yeah, I used to really love Ezra. But then I wasn't prepared for this. So, like, he's not home when he's supposed to be. And Arya is, like, I guess, calling the airline. She's freaking out. I would be so worried. I would definitely think he was dead if I were her. And she turns on the TV, and I can't even believe I saw this, but we see that they found more hostages, and we see Nicole, and we see Ezra, and they're embracing like they're madly in love, and it looks like he kissed her maybe on the cheek or something, but I just can't with that. I mean, I can't. Now here is where I'm very concerned because people have said, you know, what if that's a fake video? What if AD put that on their TV? Well, that is more unrealistic than CC being A, in my opinion. So how did he fake that with a dead person? I mean, if they're going to use that excuse, that's really annoying. Like, she's supposed to be, if she's really dead, are you going to say these were masks, and why didn't he come home if it's all a trick, and is he captured by A? Like, that bothers me, and I think this is a lot of wasted time on this storyline. Like, I don't know why they're doing all this with Nicole. And then some people say, well, maybe she was hallucinating or imagining or dreaming, which is also annoying. Quit playing around with the Nicole storyline. So I'm just going to take it for what it was because the other options are bad. They're really bad, and they're bringing me back to the days where Marlene and I are just not friends. Not that we're friends, but they're bringing me back to those bad vibes about Marlene, and we don't want to have to rip up her face again for the finale, you know, but it might happen. I don't know. But anyway, I'm just taking it as it's real because if it's not, it really makes zero sense and it makes Marlene look, whoa, let's don't even go there. So I want to know what your thoughts are on this. Feel free to disagree with me, but I don't see any other world where it makes sense that this was fake or a dream or whatever, where it makes the show look good, but you know. So, wow, another heartbreaking scene was the scene that was, it was teased in the promo where Spencer goes to tell Toby goodbye because Yvonne and him are leaving, I guess, for Maine. And she asks if she can kiss him, and she does. And I think that he definitely still deep down loves her. So, especially after what happens later, that made me sad. So Paige was the most psychotic I've ever seen her in this episode. You could tell Allie was a little bit jealous of Paige, but then she became super, super jealous I guess she's been jealous of Allie forever, but she confronts Emily and like freaks out, and I really hope that Emily doesn't ever get back with her because she acted completely crazy, just like I've been saying all season, but this was like over the top. Like, she needs help. Please stop this girl. Thumbs up if you agree. But she has a good reason to be jealous, and she doesn't even know about it because we finally got, after waiting for quite a while, the Emerson hookup again. Now, I think that both of them together is really good because I think that they're both stable people. They've had bad things happen in their life, but they won't be bad to each other, and I think they can really count on each other. And Emily's always meeting these psychotic girls, and I know Allie isn't, so I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? I know some of you love Paige, but I just cannot with her. Yeah, so we find out that, or Hannah finds out that Noel is not a DNA match with Mary. So I kind of thought he would be. That was a little bit surprising, unless it's not true, and like, who knows with this show. So he's not the second child. So we see Sydney, and this concerns me as well because she's being all weird and creepy, I guess, when she's talking to Caleb and Mona, who we also should mention. They know how each other likes their coffee. I don't know. I mean, I would be beyond devastated if Caleb has been working like on the A-team forever, or if he's been hooking up with Mona forever. I don't know. I don't even want to think about it. But they used to do a lot of like hacking and stuff together in the past, so maybe that's how they knew. I don't know. All right, so we need to get to our ending. So basically, AD or somebody, oh no, actually I guess it was Noel. Noel and his people were saying, you know, they stole Hannah's camera, and so if she comes to this creepy place, then they will exchange the camera for the flash drive that they also stole. So this place is really creepy, and I'm sure there's lots of clues in there. There's like babies and those little beds they're in when they're first born, but they're baby dolls, and people have mentioned there's certain clues to point to other episodes, and I haven't had a chance to really investigate that entire room, but if you guys saw anything, let me know. But anyway, so there's a lot of stuff that happens here, and basically we find out that Noel is completely psychotic, but the problem is, what the heck is his motivation here? I mean, I thought, well, if he was the kid, I get it. I don't get it now. He mentioned, like, working with Charlotte and Jenna, and he was acting great, like he's mentally ill, like completely crazy. But why? And I'm really hoping they don't leave us hanging on that and we get what happens there. So there was some kind of like struggle between, he was trying to, I guess, use an axe on them, and I don't know. And somehow he gets beheaded, which was crazy, but fine, because he's crazy. And then, as we saw in the promos, Jenna has a gun, but she's seriously acting blind, so I don't know, because I thought she could see, but then I don't know. And she's pointing the gun, and here's where things get kind of mixed up. So we see her shoot the gun, and to me, I don't think she hit anyone. That's my opinion. And then we like hear more, I guess, I don't know how many shots we heard. But anyway, Spencer is shot, and Mary has been there the whole time. Why, I'm not sure, but she, intervenes and stops Jenna. Knocks her over. But anyway, I think that what happened is that AD stepped in and was the one who shot Spencer, because Jenna was like literally blindly shooting and didn't hit anyone. So I definitely think Spencer is going to live, even though it looks like she was shot in the chest. But the other big thing that happens is Mary like comes to her rescue and is like, I would never hurt you because you're my child. So we definitely had the hints for that, so that makes sense, and I'm glad they didn't make it someone crazy that made no sense being the other child. I still kind of think there's another child out there. I know that's annoying, but I'm thinking maybe that's our AD. I don't know. But at the end of the episode, Jenna realizes who AD is. So that's interesting because she didn't know who AD was, okay? So they were kind of working on their own agenda. So I think that leads us to believe that Noel and Charlotte and Jenna weren't working with AD. Like, AD's been on their own. That's kind of what I take from it. Now, I know everyone has different takeaways from all the things happen this episode, and please post, your thoughts down below, because we really don't know who's right or who's wrong at this point. But, wow, it was such a great season. I'm a little sad that we have to wait till April, but I have high expectations for the next 10 episodes. And please stick around if you subscribe just for these videos. I will definitely be back to do, I may just watch all of them live so you get the live reaction with me. Next season, I'll do the live chats and then these types of videos. But everything else I cover on my channel is mystery. So How to Get Away with Murder and Scream Queens is coming back in a couple of weeks. So stick around for that. But there's a lot of other shows I cover. Check my videos out and you'll see maybe you watch some of those things and you want to hang out with me and do live reactions and all that with me. So thank you so much for being on this amazing journey for 7A. And if you love Ezra, try not to hate me. We have to take it as a joke. I know when I tore up Marlene's face a while back, some people got super offended. Please guys, it's supposed to be funny. So if you get super offended, that's kind of weird, but whatever. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this episode of Kelly TV. See you soon. Bye.